What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we are back out here in the shop at my house, getting ready to do a couple things. As you can hear from the noise in the background, there's some work going on in the shop right now. As you saw from my last update, I finally got power in the shop and lighting, thank God. It's been a long process, but it's done and I'm happy, and I got power. And it sounds like a hammer drill because it's gonna be no more laying on their back for me, guys. Getting a lift installed. Reached out to the guys over at Synergy Equipment, local right here in Mesa, Arizona. They hooked me up with a 10,000 pound champion lift, and that's getting installed right now. While that's being done, I've got Cleetus's car ready to go back out to Glamis. We're gonna get it in their shop after the lift's done, put it up on the lift, swap out the tires, get it put on my trailer, and then this car is gonna be heading out to Glamis. I am gonna take this thing for a rip. We'll fill it up with the 85. We're gonna go see how the suspension works right now, because I've never really driven this car in the dunes, just a little bit. We're gonna be leaving this car with our boy Carl over at Shock Talk, and he's gonna be taking care of all the suspension on this car. He's gonna rebuild all the shocks. He'll get it on his scales. He'll dial it all in, and he'll make this car perfect for Cleetus in the dunes. That's just what he does. We're not suspension tuners. We just build cars, so we leave that up to him. So we're gonna jump back into the shop, let these guys keep on working, and my boy Mikey's here. That's my electrician buddy. He's helped me out in the shop. So we're gonna jump back in and get some more work done. All right, well, there she is, guys. All installed, all powered up, finished up. Got my lift in the shop, finally. Oh, I gotta put the cap back on the oil tank there. Got her wired up, and she is good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the Civic in here, get the Civic up on the lift, get it up in the air, get razzle-dazzle back inside, and get ready to put old Cleetus' car on the trailer and head out to Glamis. Guys, you have no idea how awesome this is for me. To finally be in my own spot, big garage, and have a lift. Friggin' epic. I love it. Thing up in the air. And we want to let it down a little bit onto the stopper. Looks like that one doesn't hit it. Oh, there we go. And just like that, guys, I finally got a lift in here. It's going to be amazing. It's going to make jobs so much easier for me. I don't know if you guys know, but I have to pull the transmission out of Chevella. So to get it in here on the lift and be able to do it up on the lift instead of on my back is friggin' awesome. So got a couple cleanup things to do to this car. Some stuff that I wanted to do back when I first converted it to all-wheel drive. Some stuff I got to clean up. I got a plate up in here where I cut out for the diff. Looks like the emergency brake cables are rubbing on my drive shaft when I launch, which I'll have to get up there and make some more room for those. Maybe bend these brackets up a little more. So the innovative viscous coupler mounts are holding up just fine. And yeah, man, I'm more than happy with this Freelander viscous. This thing works great. So, and then I also need to work on my catch can. I had to clearance it for the, my catch pan, clearance it for the transfer case. So now that I got a TIG here, I can take some aluminum and cut it around instead of using duct tape to get this thing all fixed up. But that's it for tonight, guys. I'm going to get this car put away, get razzle-dazzle back in the shop, and then I've got to get some dinner and get some sleep because I got to head out to Glamis tomorrow with Cleetus' car. We're going to get it out there in the dunes and give it a rip and get it dropped off for suspension tuning. Hey guys, I wanted to just jump in here to remind you that you can right now jump on theduneaddict.com and get your merch today. We have hoodies in stock, ready to ship. It is still cold out there. It's winter, so get your hoodies now. You can get your t-shirts. We've got them in black and white. We've also got your ball caps, trucker hats, and all kinds of stuff in stock on theduneaddict.com. Let's get back to the video. All right, well, we're back out here at Glamis, out at Glamis Fab. Got Cleetus' car out here back in sand mode. This car has gone under some serious transformations in the last few months. It went from sand car to a street car doing wheelies to a snow rail, and now we've got it back in sand mode. I'm gonna go ahead and take this thing out, rip it around a little bit, see how the suspension does so I have an explanation to give Carl before he drives it, and then he's gonna come by here in a little while and pick this thing up, get it over to his compound, and then he is going to do his thing. I think they're gonna put the car on the trailer, take it to his big shop in Yuma, get it on the scales, do all the stuff that they do for suspension tuning, and get this thing dialed in. It's perfect. So you guys stick around. I'm gonna try to bring you with me, and I'm gonna take this thing for a rip. All right, guys, well, we got about 2 miles out, headed down Sand Highway, and that happened. Wheel bearing is trashed. Not quite sure how we're gonna get this back. I'm gonna try to drive it. I can probably turn around and get it back on the highway here. Wow, that's bad. So it must have happened when it was in the sand, or in the snow. Not quite sure what's going on there, but that CV looks okay. All the grease is gone, but the caliper is not happy. Whew. So I think my best bet's gonna be to take that caliper off, if I can get it off, because the back tire is kind of locked up. What is going on here? So what happens, guys, is when that wheel bearing goes bad, the whole tire goes like this. You can see it's turned to the side, and now it's rubbing on that caliper. So a lot of guys don't notice it and they keep driving, and then they end up putting off so much heat in there, it catches the car on fire. So we're gonna try to limp this thing back nice and slow. And we lost Josh, so that's okay. He's gonna go help his daughter. We were following my buddy. But we're gonna turn around and try to limp this thing back over to Glamis Fab. But guys, that's right there is exactly why we do stuff like this. We take the cars out, we don't go far from where we need to be, and make sure stuff doesn't break. So we're gonna go ahead and get turned around, and I'm gonna limp this thing back. So I went ahead and just took a little break, just pulled over. I'm gonna let that cool down a little bit. Like I said before, you don't wanna let that get too hot. It'll boil the brake fluid and everything else in that caliper. So I should be able to limp it back to the shop. We're not that far. If you look out this way, I'll zoom in. There's the cell tower right there, so kind of right by where the shop is. Although I don't want to head that way, because you want to stay on the well-traveled roads out here, especially when you're by yourself. I don't suggest that anyone ever come out here by themselves. And like I said, I wasn't out here by myself. My buddy Josh was in front of me, and I was following him out to where his daughter was broke down. So I went ahead and stopped. I let him go on and help her, and I turned around and I start slowly heading back for the shop. And once they get fixed, they'll come back this way looking for me, I'm sure. So like I said, I'm just going to let it sit here and cool off for a few minutes, and then I'll go another half mile or so and let it cool down again. Flipping it back slow, guys. All right, we're up by the highway now. Like I said, we're just limping it back nice and slow. I'm gonna hop out and go back and take a look at it. See if it got any worse. Oh yeah, she's a smoker. So we're definitely gonna have to let this cool off for quite a while. I can hear it boiling the brake fluid already, so we're gonna hang out, let this thing cool down. Give you guys an idea how hot this caliper is. There's a piece of ice in my hand. Look at that. Yeah, she's a little warm, boys. So definitely gotta let her cool down. All right, guys. Well, we're almost back to the shop. Little ways to go. I'm gonna pull over, let it cool off again. That caliper started smoking a little bit. So it's just that brake fluid starting to boil. So we're gonna hang out here for a few minutes. We're gonna let it cool off and keep limping it back to the shop. Hopefully we have one of these bearings in stock. If not, we're gonna have Carl just take the car as is, and I'll ship him a bearing and have him throw it in or what have you, but we'll get it taken care of. So fortunately I did drive it long enough to see what the car was doing, and I did get a good feel for what Garrett was talking about. This thing in the back end pogos like you guys would not believe. It literally just, you hit a bump and this back end comes up like this and it stays and it just bounces. So like I said, luckily I drove it long enough before that happened to get a good feel to tell Carl what the car's doing. And after that, he'll pretty much know what to do with this thing and how to dial everything in. So a few more minutes to go. We'll let this thing cool off a little longer, and I'll show you guys how much it's leaned over now. Definitely lost a wheel bearing. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So we'll get it fixed up. We'll get this arm all cleaned up and get her back in the dunes. That's what we do. That is what happens. It doesn't matter how much money you guys spend, how badass your car is, how, whether it's a sand car, a Speed UTV, a Can-Am, a Polaris, Pro Rs, whatever, they all break. They're all gonna break. And that's what they do out here. And that's why we're there at Glamis Fab. We're there because cars break. So I don't care what you guys buy. Inevitably, sooner or later, your time is gonna come. You're gonna break an axle, you're gonna blow a belt, you're gonna break a CV. It's just gonna happen. That's what happens. That's the cost of being out here in the desert and doing stuff. So, like I said, it doesn't matter what you guys have, how much money you spent on it, it is gonna break no matter what. So that's just what they do. So, all right, guys, we're gonna let this thing cool off a little bit longer, and then we're gonna get back over to the shop, see if we can't get this thing fixed. Guys, so we made it back to the shop. I'm gonna go inside to see if we got a friggin' bearing for this thing. So we'll get her fixed up and get her back in the dunes. Yeah, for once it was not Josh.
Not me.
But Josh, I told you guys earlier, Josh is who I was following. I know you guys have seen this car on our channel before. This is Josh's car. It's a San Limbo Radius roof car. It's only money. And he came back, and like I said, he came back and waited for me. And so we'll get this thing fixed up and see if we got a bearing in here. So your bad luck wore off on me. See, I was coming to film your bad luck.
What did you do?
I
What did
It was what you did to me. Your mojo wore off on me. My shit broke on the way to come get you.
I passed you, right? And you were doing super fine, and then he came.
No, I was already limping it back. I broke on the way to come save you.
That's why
Your mojo wore off on me.
What did you do?
Oh, the wheel bearing broke. It was your fault. You've already broke one today, right?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, 100%.
So, all right, guys, let's jump in here and see if we got a wheel bearing. All right, guys, so we're in luck. We do have a 33 spline micro stub bearing for old Cleet's car. We're gonna sit it back down here. Thank God we got them in stock. I'm gonna run out there, rip the car apart, get this bearing put in. All right, well, we got it all apart, and sure as can be, that wheel bearing is trashed, and so is the caliper. So we're gonna get this thing apart, replace that wheel bearing. The stub's still good. We'll replace the CV boot, we'll re-grease the CV, and back to ripping. All right, so I got the hub off, and most of the wheel bearing is seized onto the hub, and that bearing is gone, boys. Definitely gone. I'm gonna go ahead and blame this on Dave Sparks. You broke this car. You broke the track on this side, so I think this was you. Even though you're not here in Glamis with us, I think I can still get away with blaming this on you. But like I said, guys, we got another bearing. I'll get it fixed up, man. And you can see that this bearing is old. It's been in the car a long time. It was probably due. So we'll get it fixed up, and like I said, we'll get back to ripping. Okay, well, new wheel bearing is installed. I still need to put the cotter pin in. I'm gonna go in and grab a caliper and see what we have that fits. CV's bolted back on, re-greased, service the CV again. New CV boot. We're gonna slide this down, get the clamp on it after I clean all this up. And yeah, guys, I guess I didn't have enough footage just testing old Garrett's car. I needed to break it to get a little bit more exciting footage for you guys. So like I said, we're gonna get this thing put back together, and then hopefully make it out to Sunset Point tonight in this thing. So I'm gonna get it put back together. So Josh, it's only money, thought that I didn't have enough content today.
Our boss builds cars for them to beat up and break like that.
Yeah.
Come on.
We call this the drive of shame.
No, I drove here, bitch. The Dunes did not win.
I like this guy's style.
Joe Cab already broke. I didn't break it.
Now hold on.
I'm
Let me
inconvenienced.
finish the video. This man has split an S4 tranny in half, a double disc clutch in 12 pieces.
Everybody knows I've been
Right
on
here.
all his videos.
Josh, what am I gonna do with you?
You're gonna build me better arms. That's what you're gonna do. I don't know.
All right, guys. So
Oh shit.
it's only money has been fixed. Whoa! Wow.
Sleeved.
You can
Looks
almost
really good.
It does. You can almost not tell.
Jesus, it's almost like the other side should be, I don't know, gusseted.
Wow. Well, that's what happens. I was showing you guys in the video what happened when you send it a little hard. I think Josh's foot slipped off the throttle when he left the air. That's why the car nosed over. Either that or he puckered. Yeah, I think he puckered and got scared.
Okay.
Scar,
Yes,
okay?
but as
Sorry, Harvey. There
as
was a little bit of this involved.
A little
so-
bit or a lot of that.
Joe fixed it as usual, and again, we got another one back in the dunes, and I don't know.
Helping Harvey's content, that's all I
As
do.
Joe Fab could say, this man has broke his transmission 2 different times. The clutch, double disc clutches, when we took it apart, the discs were in 6 pieces each.
This guy
and
here.
Then he split a bus transmission or a,
No.
a S4
Yeah.
in
Half.
No, it's an S4 too.
It 2 pieces.
Okay.
This is my buddy Joe. This is my buddy Joe right here that knows me. And you would think he knows me.
Now you have to upgrade to the big arm.
Now you got to go to the big arms. Well,
I've never argued with this.
all right. So the scary thing is these are the same arms that are on my car, but I don't drive like this guy does. So they'll be fine.
Dude, I'm so excited to see that truck come out here.
All right.
I'm glad I gave it to you.
Like I showed you guys, Joe got it all put back together. And Josh is going to need new arms, so he's got to step up to the big arms. All right, guys, so Josh is going to head out. Carl has not come to pick this car up yet, so I think he's going to grab it in the morning. I'm staying the night, and I think we may go to the hill tonight with these guys. We'll take Cleetus' car out there, give her a rip up and down the hill, and we'll take it easy on her and try not to break another wheel bearing. So that's going to wrap it up for here at the shop. And if I go to the hill tonight, I'll bring you guys along with me. All right, guys. Well, like I said, we got Cleetus' car fixed. Got it out there at the hill. We're just kind of hanging out with some friends. And I'm gonna go over here. These guys are gonna do a little ripping tonight. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. It's kind of dark, but this is the copper car. This is the San Limo with the doors in it that we just finished. And these guys are gonna do some ripping tonight. I'll probably stick a camera on his car. And then we got Josh's car fixed. It's only money. And he's gonna take it for a rip too. God, that LT4 sounds so nasty. Old school versus new school. Here you go, Fab. This is what you wanted to see. Brand new San Limo versus old school San Limo. Obviously, there's no... Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome back. Well, not welcome back. You're still here. Same video. But it is the next morning. We went out to the hill last night, had a little fun. I did not bomb Garrett's car up and down the hill a bunch of times. It went up and down a couple times, but you guys saw the copper car and the other It's Only Money car. This thing, unfortunately, you guys, drives like a freaking tank. Cleetus, I don't know how you drove this car out here, buddy. When you said it was bouncing in the rear, I had no idea how bad it really was. This thing, you hit the smallest little bump, and the ass end is just right up in the air. So we're going to run over to Shock Talk this morning and get this thing dropped off, talk to Carl, and hopefully get this thing worked out. He is going to get this thing worked out. This car will work. We just need Carl's loving on it. Hey, guys, so I was just sitting in there editing that video and realized that I forgot to shoot an outro. It happens. I did get the car dropped off with Carl at Shock Talk. He is going to get that thing dialed in, and we're going to go back out there and test it again. But in the meantime, I got left in Glamis and in California with an empty trailer. I might have picked something up when I was out there in California, but we're going to save that for the next video or some upcoming videos. I got another project in the works. But as always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you give us a like and a subscribe. Click that notification bell and that thumbs up for us. That really helps us with the algorithm. And we will see you guys in the dunes.